Hey there, here's what you'll need for this episode. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm Miss Laura, and I'm on my way to create some amazing art-inspired adventures right here at Kidcasso. Let's go on in and check them out. Excited to have you here.
Oh, this is like
a
dream come true. A little ADHD overstimulation, but
it is
all good things.
Totally a dream. This is Jackie.
Hi.
Say hi to Jackie, everyone.
Hi, guys.
I am thrilled to have you at Kidcasso for so many reasons. One, because I just think you're a nice person and you're awesome. Two, because you're going to show us an awesome, quick, simple, fun project that we're going to do together. Yes. But you at home can easily create this and kind of turn it into your own thing.
Totally. That's what we do.
But before we start to really delve into who Jackie is, we need to do a dance break.
Oh, let's
you
do
ready?
it. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
These are my kid moves.
All right, so Jackie, tell me about you.
I grew up in a family of artists. My grandmother is a pretty well-known person in the Boston area. She's a sculptor of Make Way for Ducklings. So Make Way for Ducklings is a children's book that takes place in Boston in 87. She made these ducks. And they are iconic. They're ducks. Iconic. They're beloved. Children from literally all over the world come in and they sit on these ducks. But now, looking back, I'm just like, wow, what a lucky role model that I've had as a creative.
So thank you for being here, and we're gonna dive in now.
Yeah, let's do some painting.
It is time to create.
All right, I just have a bunch of brushes, so I brought a bunch for us. So I just chose like a simple flower.
Very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. And there's two different sizes.
Cute.
This is an Amazon kit, so everything we do is streamlined to like a kit on an 8x10 canvas, so it's really easy for you. So I always recommend having a flat brush, so we have two sizes. I'll give you the better ones. And then a round brush, so we always like to have a round brush, and then honestly you could just do those two, and then we also have baby brushes. I'm giving you all the best brushes.
Okay, thank you.
So those are the three I across the board say always use.
All right.
And then I brought some paints, basic colors. So in this painting, I just am using white, red, yellow, green, blue.
Okay.
And I love this magenta color. This is you can add it or you don't have to, but it's a great one to have too.
Very nice.
Most basic packs have those primaries, red, yellow, blue, and then you don't even need green technically. We can
make our green.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna put a little paint on your plates.
All right.
So we start with a square brush. So I'll yell it out, you repeat after me. So square brush.
Square brush.
Yes, and a square brush is generally just like a flat brush. Then we have a round brush. So the second size, this is a round brush.
Round brush.
And this round brush is usually a size 4 or a size 6. That's kind of my average size. So you look for a brush that's called round size 4 or size 6, whatever you want.
Perfect.
And then this is your baby brush, and in your cute baby voices, you say, baby brush.
Baby brush.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna start with the baby brush. So the other ones can go down. Take your baby brush, give it a little dunk in your water, tap it off, wipe it on your paper towel. Let's dip everything. We're gonna make a light blue color. We're gonna outline the whole thing.
So the whole background, I'm gonna do blue right now.
The whole thing, we're gonna outline. So we're gonna do a little bit of your blue and then a little bit of your white. And a big tip, as I always say, you don't wanna dip right inside of the white. It'll contaminate it, and white is precious.
What? I just did that.
I know, so that's okay.
Messy.
Deep breaths,
messy
let it out. We just use a lot of white, so that's why. Okay, then I'm gonna have you make a line that goes just like, here, I'm gonna use, actually, can we put that little one in the middle?
Yeah.
Because that's the size. So we're gonna go right, I'm gonna move this so it's not confusing for people, but we're gonna go to the middle of your canvas.
Okay.
And we're just gonna make a little mark.
Okay.
Okay, and you're lefty.
Yes, I'm
love a lefty. All right, now we're gonna make a line that goes all the way across. It does not need to be perfect. All right, now from that line, we're gonna make like a big U shape, okay?
Can I add a little water to this?
You can add some water.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come in just about like I use my finger like a measurement tool.
Okay.
You're good for kids, so you're probably, she's little hands. You probably wanna use your pointer finger. So, adult size. She's mini adult size. She's going to use her pointer. So kids, you want to use your pointer too. Adults, I usually, taller adults, you want to use your pinky because that's about an inch.
Okay.
And you can see mine is like a little bit less than an inch. So that's helpful for measuring.
Okay.
So I'm going to go a little bit less than an inch on both sides here.
All right.
Like that.
Great.
Great. Now we're just going to make a big U shape, so something like this. And also I would like to say that we all have different handwriting, so your painting is always going to look different. Like we're going to have 2 different paintings today, and that's part of the joy of this. All right, now we're going to outline. I'm going to use the same color.
Okay.
And I'm just going to make some big circles for where the roses are going to be.
Okay, big circles.
Big circles, and these are
3.
We're going to do
circles?
3, and they range in clementine sizes. So imagine a clementine, some bigger, some smaller. I'm going to start with one right here. So if you go to the middle of your little pot here, you're going to make a circle that just goes out like this. Okay,
Awesome.
and don't overthink the size. For my, again, type A personalities, it's going to be like about 1.5 pinkies.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the left-hand side. We're going to make another one. I have this kind of, I like them coming out past the pot just a little bit. And you can notice it's kind of tucked behind. And then I have one more, and they don't need to be perfect at all. So actually, I like them to not be perfect, so I'm going to make one a little bigger.
I think that's the beauty, too, when you're doing a still life or looking at something in nature.
Right. I mean, there's no flower that is identical to the next, right? And then we're going to do one more. So I don't want it to touch the top. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to make my cutoff point for myself. And then I'm just going to make one more that comes down.
All right. Like beautiful.
Yeah. Now, let's fill in the background. So you can put your baby brush in your water, or you can just leave it in there for the moment.
Okay.
And then we're going to take out your square brush, which is the flat brush you have.
This is my favorite brush.
Yeah. Oh, so are you a square or round?
Oh, a square.
Like I'm a round.
100%.
I think people really have personalities based on brushes that
Yes.
they like. Take this brush, dunk in the water, tap it off, wipe it off. Now, you can choose your own colors. I am going to make these light colors so my flowers really pop, but feel free to do any, and roses come in all different colors. So
Sure.
I'm going to make mine, it's like a very, very, very light seafoam green. So that is using my green. So I use a little bit of the green, dab it, and then I'm going to take a pretty big scoop of my white. Again, don't go right into the middle with the green. You don't want to contaminate it. And I'm just going to take a nice big scoop, and it can be any color green that you want it to be.
Okay.
All right, now I want it to be light because I will be layering on dark green on top after. And I mix everything on the canvas. So you can pre-mix a little bit, but I like to mix on the canvas because a big issue we have is people run out of the color.
Oh,
and
that's
you
a
and
good
I
tip.
can color match pretty easily, but for the new painter,
such a good tip.
cannot
Mix
do that.
right on your
Yes.
canvas.
So I do like a little dab and then like a really big, so much paint that you feel uncomfortable.
Okay, that's hard for me. A
that's
big
hard, yes.
glob of paint. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then you're just gonna go around it. You can cover up the blue, and if you paint on top of it a little, that's okay. And you go in all different directions. I liked it to feel painterly.
Yeah, I like a short brush stroke.
Yeah. Well then it looks painterly, right?
Yeah.
Like it looks.
And I like a little texture when I paint.
Exactly. And I often find that people will say, like if they have that texture, that can make, either they love it or it makes them uncomfortable. Sometimes if you over mix it, like I'll show you here, sometimes people will do this and they just keep blending. And yes, it's beautiful, but it's very flat looking. And they'll say, how do I get it to look like yours? The way you get it to look like mine is, I'm going to wipe my brush off. I just am constantly moving my brush around the canvas. Like I'm not staying in one area for a long extended period of time. So,
I like to see movement.
I agree.
When I look at artwork, I think that's what pulls me into a piece of art. It doesn't necessarily matter what the subject is. I think the first thing that catches me is a painting moving to me.
Right.
Or is a piece of artwork showing movement.
I totally agree with you.
Lots of movement.
Oh, I forgot to say we have black. There is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the black, like microscopic amount.
Tiniest amount.
Blank.
That's something that's always tricky. I feel like kids in here, when we're working with them, they always want to use black, thinking it's going to add this like a shadow or a big punch or a lot of contrast.
Dangerous.
It is dangerous. So
dangerous.
Sparingly at home.
So we're going to do a little light gray color for the table. So I'm using like if you look at my paintbrush, zoom in on that. It is like a poppy seed amount. And then I'm using a big scoop of my white. You'll notice I'm fine if the blue and the green mix in.
Yep.
And then we're just going to paint right around the vase. You can see mine is pretty white. Like I need more black. So again, I'm going to take a little dab. You can always add paint in. It is much harder to lighten something than it is to darken it. So Same brush stroke, same texture, all the same things. Okay, let's move into our pot first. Let me explain. I always like to explain what I'm doing because if you're a new painter, I want you to learn. So we want to do the pot because you're layering the flowers on top, and it's a lot harder to like make the flowers look like they're on top if you do flowers first and then pot. So, okay, a little bit of blue. So white is the base of every color, and then we're just adding color in. So I want this to, again, I really like the texture on this one, and everything else is lighter, so I do have this a little bit darker. But I know for many of you watching this, if you're painting this, you've never painted before, and the idea of colors touching stresses you out. So I get that out of the way. So I just like to paint right on top of the gray. We don't want any awkward white paint or white space. And I'm just gonna paint right on top here. And then you don't have to worry about colors touching anymore. Like get that scary part of the way, and then you can fill in, like color in the lines. Everyone learns so differently. And so as a teacher, it's really important to me that some people measure by saying an inch, some people measure by bending your pinky, some people measure by like take the brush, you know, so it's really important to have different ways of approaching.
Yeah, and how we communicate is different. How we learn is different, and how we're communicating.
Yes, and also like the whole thing's cool. All right, you're jumping the gun here. We're going into flowers next. We're going to flowers next. We're gonna do the flowers first, then we're gonna go back to the leaves, and so we're kind of bouncing around. We're gonna just paint the base of the roses, and then we're gonna have you. Do you want to swap? Do you want to teach the leaves?
Yeah.
She'll teach the leaves.
Okay.
Cool. So let's paint these. We're gonna use a flat brush again, and we're gonna paint them like a darker pink. All right, so we're gonna use a little bit of your red. I have magenta on here if you like it.
Cool.
I like to just use different combinations of reds, magenta color, yellow, all these things. So I'm gonna take this red, I'm gonna take a little bit of my white, but it's gonna look darker than what you see on here right now, okay? And then I'm gonna take a little bit of my yellow even, like make it a little orangey, change it up.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna go right on top, make sure you use a lot of paint, and we're just gonna, I want you to also notice I don't make them perfect circles, I just kind of take the brush and flatten it and fill it in just like that.
Okay.
And that's it. And you're gonna do each one, and I like them all to be like a little different color, so there's no right or wrong. Like this one has more magenta. Honestly, you probably won't even see this base color again.
Yep.
But I always find it's really hard and kind of overwhelming for anybody to see white on a canvas. So that's another reason I like to do the
100%.
roses
It's really
first.
scary to people.
You know, get all the white off the canvas, and then we can come back and layer on top.
Totally. So what is the paint bar?
So my mom and I opened in 2010. We were New England's first paint and sip business. So when we opened, there was nothing like this anywhere in the Northeast.
The greatest thing about the whole paint bar story and the Kidcasso story is I feel like we've always been connected in some way.
Sure.
The very first time I met Jackie, I was going somewhere else. This is long.
When you walked into the studio that day. Oh, I remember that day.
And I parked in front of the paint bar. And I saw the sign, and I was like, well, I want to meet this person. Who is the paint bar?
I will say that the lights were off. It was not an open time.
They were not
I was like,
open,
who is this
but
woman walking in?
I saw a movement. And I just walked in and just said hello.
Yeah.
Took a pause and said, who are these neighbors that are in my neighborhood, in the Newton area, and how can we collaborate and work together?
Love that.
And that was our first moment of meeting. So that first initial conversation we had, it was like a spark plug.
Yes.
And then it turned into a really unique and beautiful friendship and business relationship.
Yes. Okay, so now you're going to teach me the leaves, how you would teach them.
All right, I'm going to stay with this brush, guys, because I like it the best.
Go for it.
But I will encourage you at home that if you want to switch brushes, go for it.
Right.
All right, so give your brush a good wash.
I'm going to go the other way because that brush, so I'm going to tell you, that brush, like with a new painter, is very big. So when you're an experienced painter, a square brush is perfect. As a new painter, it can be pretty heavy. So that's why I always recommend the baby brush.
Okay.
So I'm going to show them with baby brush. You can see it.
Okay.
Although square brush is fantastic for it as well.
I'm going to actually start with a triangle. Once again, simple shape, okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to go to my darkest color bloom right here.
What color am I in?
I would just put green on my brush.
Okay.
I just did solid green. I didn't put any white, just got it right in there, tapped it on the sides, okay? I'm gonna come 2 lines down, like that. My lines are a little fatter because of my big brush choice. And then I'm literally gonna make a triangle. And then I'm just gonna fill it in,
Okay.
okay? And once again, I'm going back to my movement thing. I wanna see movement in my leaf. I like these smaller brush strokes, and I like building the paint up on top of that. I'm gonna snag a little bit of yellow, so I'm just gonna like tap a little bit of yellow in there and kind of like you were doing, mixing right on top of the canvas. Okay, show me a leaf, because I did a little pointy triangle leaf.
Yeah.
You show me a leaf now.
So what I do is I'll take the baby brush.
Okay.
I often will do it in white first because green is so dark and scary to people. And if they make a mistake, it's hard to cover up the green.
Okay.
So I like to plot everything out and then I have them fill it in. So if you come up from this corner here, like where the two intersect, I'm gonna make a line that comes out like that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stop just like short of the corner there.
Okay.
And then same thing, instead of making the triangle, I just make it like two curved lines. I always say imagine like an almond shape, two parentheses.
Okay.
So they both work. And then I'm gonna just outline everything and I'm gonna walk you through it, and then you can watch her paint and me walk you through it and see if it's at all similar or totally different. This is so fun to see you paint.
You know, there is something really magical about watching somebody create something. For all of our artists at home, take a deep breath right now. Slow yourself down.
I know, we go at a fast speed too. I talk very quickly, so.
Slow yourself down. Find the tip of your nose and breathe. Slow down.
So true. Okay, so we have this one line right here, and
Beautiful.
then so whenever you're making branches, imagine the Y shape.
Okay.
So we have a line coming off like a Y, and then I just have two parentheses that are not perfect, right? Like
Okay.
kind of wobbly,
Yeah.
up here, and then I have another one down here. So line, and then like parenthesis. I put a little green on mine just so you can see it better.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of hard to see if you're just using white, but if you are someone who's very nervous, white is fantastic. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna move to the next section, and I'm gonna just really quickly outline all of the leaves. And so you can do the way you did it, which was like the two lines in a triangle. That totally works. I do it as two parentheses.
Yeah.
Both ways work. So we're gonna come over to this little intersection. One more thing, you can do as many leaves or as few leaves as you want. So there are no rules. This is completely made up.
Okay.
So we're gonna go over here, same thing. I'm gonna make one leaf and then another leaf. And I kind of wiggle my brush when I do it, so it's not perfect. I'm gonna do one more right below, like that.
I'm gonna hide mine behind this.
Yes, exactly. So you can see she had less space there, so she's making it work. I'm gonna come down to this right-hand corner now. I'm gonna do another one like this, 1 and 2.
It's hard for me to do the little brush.
Yeah? You're a
This
big
is
brush.
a challenge.
I mean, I never work on small canvases like this. It is a challenge, I
Very
agree.
challenging. Okay.
I tucked one right behind it.
Perfect.
Okay, so we have these two. We had this one here we started with. So I'm going to do one more. Before we actually make this one, I'm going to make this line one, like what we did up here.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have this, just like we did earlier, kind of come down. It tucks around the rows, and then we'll do one and the other.
Okay.
And then coming right off of that, we're going to just, like we said before, we're making a Y shape, and then we're going to do one and then the other. So basically coming up that branch or coming down the branch about halfway, kind of have it wiggle off, and then make your leaf shape.
Okay.
And then we have one more that's right tucked in the middle like this. And then that is it for your leaves. When you fill these in, you can see I have a variety of colors because I know that can be really overwhelming. Anything that's on, go back to your square, anything that's like on a branch like that I made lighter. And to make it lighter, I do a little bit of the green, I do some of the yellow, and a big scoop of that white, so it'll like really soften it. If you want to mute it down, like if it feels too electric, taking the tiniest bit of the red, like tiny, red and green on a color wheel are opposite, so they look great next to each other. Hello, Christmas, right? But when mixed together, the red mutes it a little bit, kind of turns it a little more brown. So that is what I want. I want a softer green. So I'm using that. I'm going to do that on all of these here.
And then just kind of play with it, you guys.
Yeah. Another question I get asked often is like, do you paint over the outline you made? Absolutely yes. The outline is meant to be covered. It's just a guideline. So just to make my green more interesting, because I always like to add colors, I'm putting in some blue. So I use blue. When you're working with green, blue and yellow make green. So any variation of green and yellow mixed in is going to look great. And then white as well. So
I'm going to play with some blue too, then.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like a little bit of tapping in mine with the tip of my brush. I'm going back to my flowers.
All right, back to the flowers,
now.
which is perfect because it's time to go back. So we're going to clean off your baby brush, and you can use the baby brush, or we haven't used the round brush, so I love a round brush for this.
Let's give the round brush a try.
You can also watch her go to town with the square brush because you can do that.
I'm going to do this for like a second.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of my red plus some of my white. Going to kind of mix them together. It can be a similar color, maybe a little lighter or darker. This is where the layering comes in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside. I'm going to make these big brush marks like this. Okay, so I kind of take my brush and I just do big brush marks around. I want to go outside of that circle. I'm going to make these big brush marks around the circle, and then I'm just going to bring them in and bring them in. And I got a little blue in there or green. I'm going to let that keep going. And I'm just going to keep making these like big curved like half circles all the way around. And it starts to look like a petal. And this is where you can just bring some of the magenta in, like bring in your yellow, whatever you want. I'm going to do another one in here. So you can start on the inside where you can do like little tiny brush strokes on the inside. And then as they go out, they get a little bigger and bigger. And again, I let everything mix on the canvas, and that's how you get the variety of color mixing. Okay, how are you doing yours? Yours are different.
I'm just kind of tapping. I'm just kind of listening, and I've turned my brain off, to be honest with you.
That's the magic.
I just like seeing the colors and how the colors kind of affect each other. But I also am feeling.
Looks like your shirt.
It does. How do you know when you're done? It's like a gut feeling, you guys. You know when you're done, okay? So if you are starting to feel wiggly, I'm starting to feel wiggly. Like I'm feeling like my body needs to move. I need to like chill out.
Brush
down. Good. Brush down.
Brush down. All right, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to keep going. I add a little bit of yellow in there. We got a backup dancer, my hype woman over here. There you go. So what I often do at the end of a painting like this, I will take the little brush, and this is totally personal preference, but I kind of like it pulls it all together. So first of all, I want to just make sure I'm going to go back in with a little bit more white, because as scary as the white is, it is what makes the whole thing pop, right? It really makes those flowers pop. I'll use the little tiny brush, and I'm going to clean it off, just to make things look like they kind of cluster in the middle. So when you look at roses, the center has more petals.
Okay.
I'll use a little bit of a darker color, so still a little bit of white, but more of the red. And I'll go right in the middle. My brush has really seen better days here. And I'll just make these little like dashes in the middle, like little, kind of like what you were doing, little blobs, but still kind of curving. So you give it like a little bit of a center.
Okay.
And then if you want, you can go back in and you can just make a few darker lines on the outer edges. So I call these my plop and pull brush strokes. So you plop your brush and just kind of pull it till it runs out of paint. So just like, I'm doing little dashes, plop it and pull, plop and pull. And I do this like on all of my paintings, have these little outlines, which is kind of pulls your whole painting together. I love mixing pinks with the greens. So like I'll go into my leaves here and I'll just like add a little bit of the pink in like that. So just make little dashes like that, and it helps compositionally. It kind of brings your eye all together. So do you have to do it? No. If you want to do it, go for it. You can do any color.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. The last thing is if you want to just add in some white, I'll do a few little lines in the center with white. And I think we're done. I mean, it's hard to know when you're done. You're
One
right.
last thing.
Yeah.
Sign it.
Oh, yeah. I always say you got to sign it because it ups the value of your work. You might be famous one day. You never know.
There you go.
Perfect. I never sign my own painting. Everyone wants to know, how do you sign your painting? I don't know. Whatever you want.
I just did my initials.
I'm just going to make a heart.
Okay, that's cute.
Meow. Perfect.
That's very sweet.
You did it.
Nice job.
Yay.
Yay!
So cute. All right, how did that feel?
It felt great.
How did it feel at home? We'll find out. Let us know. All right. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming.
This was the best. Let's paint again.
Yay. Okay, you're not leaving yet because I'm bringing something back.
Yes!
All right, so I made my kids do this today with me.
Love it.
And now I'm going to let you do it with me, okay? So this is our fortune teller, and there's a compliment for you in your fortune teller.
Oh my God, that's
so
so
from
much
me to
nicer.
you, a compliment, okay?
Yellow. I love yellow.
Okay. You want to spell it out with me?
Sure.
Okay, you ready? Big kid
do it.
spellers at home?
Yes.
Y-E-L-L-O-W.
That was a challenging one.
Woo!
Okay, I am born on August 6th, so we're going to go with 6.
Okay, ready? We're going to count it out.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, pick a number.
Last one, I'll do the number 2.
All right. You have a rare gift for weaving color, texture, and emotion into something that not only catches the eye, but touches the heart.
That is very sweet, and I love that. What a great idea.
That's a
way to
nice
end.
compliment
Yes,
for
thank you.
today.
That's
Jackie,
perfect.
thank you so much for sharing with me and all of us at home about your colorful and artistic family.
Thank you for having me.
And being here to create with us.
Yes, well,
And create with you.
it's such an honor to be in your circle, in your world. I love it. I'm so grateful. And I think to anybody watching, community over competition, collaboration over competition, I've loved watching you every step of the way. And you're an inspiration to so many kids.
Thank you.
I think kids need more of you in their life. So
Thank you. And we need you. So
yes.
hit subscribe.
All right. Thanks again.
Bye, Jackie. Bye. All right, guys, that is going to end our day right here in the neighborhood. Don't forget to make it a great day wherever you live. And always remember to think community and collaboration over competition. Have a great day, guys.